Hi, as it's come up in conversation 2 or 3 times this week about the importance of having a simple structure to any presentation, I thought it was worth putting this video together. So it's important both for you as the speaker and for the audience. It's a win-win situation. And I know there are speakers out there that are resistant to the idea of having a structure, pre-preparing what they want to say, because they like to do free flow. And I want to say there's very, very few speakers that I've heard that have been able to give a coherent, valuable, educative, well put together speech by doing that. I know it's all about speaking from the heart, and I'm not wanting to take that away, but all I'm suggesting is that whatever you do, you prepare a very simple structure. You don't need to write a script word for word. But let me look at first the benefits to you as the speaker. So I've covered in a previous message the thing about notes, no notes. If you've got a very simple structure to follow, you as the expert in your field don't need a fully typewritten script, because if you know the structure, you can remember your structure, then you know what you're going to be talking about, roughly for how long. Keep an eye on the clock so you don't overrun, and you've got a wealth of information that you can share under each section of your structure. So a simple structure would go something like this, and obviously it varies depending on how long you're speaking for, but you'd have your opening, and that's going to be a whole little video tip in itself, but whatever your opening lines are to engage your audience from the outset. Then you're probably going to have 2 or 3 sections that give information, tips, whatever it is, your story may be, that all help line up to impart your key message. And that is the thing that underlines the entire presentation, the key message that you want to convey today to this particular audience. And then, of course, you're going to wrap it all up and bring it to a natural conclusion with opening remarks. And this is again where the importance lies for you, because if you're speaking, it is likely that you're a business owner, that you want your audience to do something as a result of having heard you speak. That may be to book a call with you, it may be to think differently, it may be to do something differently. I don't know, it could be all sorts of things. But when you have a structure that follows a logical process, that you're taking your audience from here to here, then they are much more likely to do whatever it is you want them to do, and you are much more likely to remember to say it. You know what, one of my high-end clients, who we spent a couple of days working on his signature keynote, because he knew that he was a good speaker, he liked to do it off the cuff, and he could do that well enough, but he wasn't getting the business he knew he should be getting because he used to forget to tell them what he wanted them to do next. So that's why it's important for you. Why is it useful for the audience? Because in a sense, you're giving them a set of pegs to hang the information you're going to give them on. You're going to start with the opening that's going to get their attention, and then you will explain to them what you're going to be covering in your talk and how you're going to do that. So you just do that very briefly so they know. And then if you give just a phrase or a sentence to segue from each of the different sections of your structure that you're taking them to, they know where you are. So if they do drift off, which after all they are human beings, that is going to happen, however compelling your talk, there might be other things going on in their life, just you reminding them, and now I'm going to give you some tips on how to do it, or now I'm going to tell you a bit more about my story, whatever it is, they kind of know where you are. And in the same way, as you're coming towards the end, you'd probably throw in a phrase like, and as we come towards the end or the conclusion, then they kind of know to listen for that last bit. So just a very simple structure, doesn't tie you down. You can vary what you cover under each of the sections of the structure because you know so much about your topic. So, and if you need any help with crafting that structure, putting it together, let's have a conversation.